Ladies and gentlemen, we're a day behind. We have the electricity, thank that, but finally we are here. And it's not the game we originally promoted. This time around, it's gonna be something a little bit different. It's gonna be Energy Esports taking on IDGAF, and I am just so happy to be here because here's the thing: I've been suffering. It's been painful. I've lived in as a shell of a man, because I had to wait an extra 24 hours to be here. But fortunately, it wasn't a full 24 hours because we're starting a little bit early tonight. But of course, what does this mean? What does this mean for you? Of course, it means it's EGL 1 action time, and we're having Energy versus IDGAF to kick things off. My name's HellbirDza, and I'm joined by notAhero. notAhero, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here, watching some top-notch SA Dots. Two teams, like different stories in their own right. Energy Esports, obviously, with some interesting things happening in that team at the moment. People are kind of writing them off as.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
People are kind of writing them off as like a third or fourth seed, but they've kind of proven everyone wrong. They've beaten Sun 5 in 2 BO5s in the last 2 weeks. And there's talks about them being the best team in the country at the moment. So they're just looking as a better unit.
And here's the thing, right? I would say it is so. If you want to write a story for this, if you want to write an autobiography of everything that's happened today, at this point, they're the best team in the country. They've won 2 events back to back, and they've done it across 2 different tournaments, and they've done it against the best possible opponent. Because I think everyone would agree that Sun 5 were the team to beat, and done it back to back. And back to back means congratulations, you're the best in the country. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't fluke it twice, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing about Dota. The sequel is always full of revenge. It's never a case of things just end the way that they started. So don't be too surprised if Sinister 5 managed to take it back. And don't be too surprised if that doesn't happen in a grand final. Don't be too surprised if it's XD or somebody who ends up winning this, because
get to that point where they play
exactly. There's no ways that EGL 1 ends with just by the books, because I think this is currently it. This is where I think you have your biggest, best event of the year. And I really do believe that EGL 1 is the de facto event of the year, and I'll stand by that. And there's a lot of tournaments that I've been part of in the past, and I have a lot of love for them and stuff like that. But right now, as far as anything that's happened to date, the largest prize pool, the longest running event, and
the most hype, the most
hype, yeah, the most teams, the most. It's just, this is the one to win, right?
We're seeing highlight videos after every single game that's on the mainstream. Like, everyone can go and watch it, catch up, see what's going on. Teams can go do homework because the event is ticketed, so all the games are available to download. It's done. It's complete.
And with that said, to the backdrop, it's one of the best seasons I think we've ever had. There are phenomenal community events going on for the full year so far. We are in a just brilliant space. I think, was it Santa that said it? Not here, just remind me, but I believe it was Santa that said that we have the most immortal players
we've ever had.
Yeah. And that means we are not just having the most competitive Dota, it's means having the highest quality Dota. We always talk about the bravado emotions. They were like 4K, guys, and I don't take anything away from them, because it's different times. It's like
back then 4K was I think
exactly. I think it's one of those things. You compare like current cricketers or rugby players, and you compare what they achieved in the past versus what people are achieving today. It's a totally different sport, and you can't, and it's unfair to do so. But with that said, it's still true that internationally, we're competing the best that we've ever competed, because we have the highest possible levels, and that stands still. That is a phenomenal accomplishment for our community and for our top teams, and all the more reason to back up these players and hope for the best outcomes. But anyways, I'm just ranting along here, and yes, it's because I'm excited, I'm keen, I want this. And here's the thing: we have IDGAF versus Energy Esports, and we're sitting here saying Energy Esports are the best team in South Africa at the moment. Don't at me, right? That's just the truth of it. But IDGAF, with all the magic that's been happening in our community lately, I wouldn't be too surprised if they either push Energy to the absolute limit, or we end up in a BO3, or IDGAF totally just decide now, screw it, we just actually want to win this tonight, and we're just going to do so. Because I'm looking at these players, and you're looking at experienced players with high ranks. Like there's certainly a factor here of just, if you give them too much, if Energy don't take this seriously enough, I think IDGAF could just get ahead early on and never let Energy come back. That's honest truth.
They can play Dota, otherwise they wouldn't be where they are now. And we saw in the qualifiers, they eventually stopped their run in the qualifiers by losing to Team Pingu. But Team Pingu is also a team with 5 immortal players in their squad. And they were competing. That game was close. Like small little mistakes that they made, if they didn't make those mistakes, they would have won those games. So then we saw a series the other night where game 1 they looked horrible, game 2 they looked amazing, and then the third game was a complete stomp. So it kind of, and that kind of sums it up to me, like which IDGAF is going to show up here. Like, is it the one that's competing with these immortal stacks and these immortal players, or is it the one that's going to kind of just like make silly little mistakes and not be focused, and then they just get run over by a strong energy team? So it kind of depends who's going to show up.
I think that's also one of the important things about South African Dota at the moment as well, is that it's probably why teams like Energy are likely to win this tournament, like sides like Since 5, etc. It's the experience. It's no longer down to just, they have the best players. And in fact, I think back to, ironically, an old Energy roster. It had the likes of Laka, Chelsea in it. I think it had Modace in it. And I remember them competing at some LAN events, etc. And sort of off screen, they said to me, one of the things that they thought was a little bit unfortunate was the fact that they were all kind of retirees who were coming back, able to represent a team like Energy, and were still able to, do well and beat other high-tier sides.
It's not going to happen today.
It's not going to happen today. In fact, if Energy don't take IDGAF seriously, they'll just win. Like it just happens that way. Like when I think back to the yesteryear, you would have sides that would they'd mess around in their second matchup because they're like, we got the first game, now the next game, well, what do you feel like playing? I think that those games they're probably going to get a couple of them, but you're going to have less and less and less of them, because IDGAF, they'll just beat you. Like they'll just like, well, okay, you're going to pick like nonsense against us, we'll just win our lanes, we'll have a better team fight and better picks, and we'll win. So I do think that also means the draft becomes even more important.
We saw that last week with the BSL versus WRG series. Like WRG, very experienced team, and BSL, the up and comers, like still I think a little bit wet behind the ears when it comes to like competitive Dota. And BSL took the first game. Second game, they had the game, and they lost it because WRG drew on that experience. They didn't realize they had to TP back to stop this Tiny with a Giant's Ring, because he's just going to destroy your base. And they thought they could, like, the Necrophos would, like, keep him away from the base. And Petunia, being an experienced player, knew the limits of his hero, and he just went and he ended the game. And then the third game, what you brought up now is draft. The third game, BSL just competed strongly, 2 60-minute games in a row, toe-to-toe with WRG, punch for punch, got outdrafted, and they lost.
Yeah. Exactly that. So I do think that on top of things, if you lose the draft, you're in trouble. You're in real trouble. So it makes things more exciting, because regardless of whether or not you're a friend of Helsinki and you really want to see your boy do well here tonight, or if you love TKC or Soup, like regardless of who you might be supporting, whether it's the team, whether it's the player, etc. There's almost like an additional investment that when you see the draft go badly, you start feeling worried for the individual, the team that you're behind. Because now understand, I'm talking about. I mean, notAhero, how long have you been playing Dota for?
Oof, Dota 1 or Dota 2?
Just Dota. Like anything with the word Dota. How long have you been involved with it?
14, 15 years.
Right. So 14, 15 years there. I'm not going to do the math, so I haven't actually thought this through, but when I was thinking like 2004 is probably when I started playing Dota 1. So the point is, like, a really, really long time, right? And with that combined experience, we're both telling you, like, if you mess up the draft, it doesn't matter who you are, you could lose that game. And that is where South African Dota is at these high levels. So if you're in a winner bracket, if you're not in a lower bracket, sure, I think lower bracket, there's still some room to be an Energy, a Sin 5, and, mess around, have a bit of fun. But in this kind of matchup, I don't think you have that liberty anymore. I think you have to win your draft, you have to play well, and you have to take your opponent seriously. And that's something that's almost new to South African Dota. All right,
Yeah.
I've spammed you enough about it. We've gone long enough. We're about to go ready with game. I do want to remind everybody, I'll remind everyone in game as well shortly, but what's my favorite thing in the world, notAhero? What makes me happy? What do I dream about at night?
Apart from beard oil, it's probably free stuff.
Apart from beard oil, it is in fact free stuff. So okay, perfect time because we are live in the game, our draft going live. So if you are just joining us, please do join us in the Twitch channel, sorry, the YouTube channel as well, because of course, EGL does provide both handsome casters, fantastic Dota. I get some more than both now, and free stuff. So of course we're giving away some goodies tonight. I'm gonna leave you wondering what it is for a little while longer because I enjoy watching you suffer. What can I say? I don't get to watch, but I'm going to enjoy the fact that I know and you don't for a little while longer. And obviously, with that said, we'll be giving away some free stuff. You can only get it on the YouTube stream, so make sure you go and check out the Esports ZA account on Twitter to make sure that you get the information you need on where the YouTube channel is, with the appropriate social media links are, etc. Join us, have a conversation with us. I will respond to you. Especially if you give notAhero a hard time, I will respond to you. And then we will bring you, we'll give you free stuff potentially. Anyways, notAhero, it's I've spoken far more than my right.
Taking us into
the
draft.
Time. I'm going to talk for what's being banned out, and then I'm going to leave it over to you. So we do have the Staffire, the Nyx Assassin, Puck, and Clockwork banned out by Energy Esports and IDGAF, respectively. Followed up with the first pick, Ancient Apparition. notAhero, what are your thoughts?
So AA has seen a lot of popularity, specifically in our region. It's kind of mimicked from the European servers. The heroes being first picked like most games if it's not been banned out. We see a lot of the previous teams also like focusing that AA ban. The Clockwork is very nice taken out. The Puck is very nice taken out. We saw Energy doing extreme work with it, like Soup on the Clockwork. It was a phenomenal performance by him. And then Adestam's Puck is not something you want to go up against. He solo destroyed them in that series with Sun 5, like just with Puck. He played out of his mind. Then we see Snapfire and Nyx taken out. So Snapfire just generally still strong. I know she had a small nerf recently, but the Eurus is still good. Gives you the toolset she provides is a solid push, team fight, stun, save, nuke for wave clear. The Euro is just complete. And then they take out Nyx Assassin. I think that's a ban focus on something that they want to do, and the Nyx is probably going to get in the way of it. So, or they just don't want this Nyx running onto the backline onto this Ancient Apparition and stop him from getting any spells off. Because Nyx can solo kill an AA with one item. Ooh, I like the Void pickup a lot though.
You know what? I feel like Energy as an MGO, they've always had a Faceless Void player. I know that sounds like particularly like very particular, but I honestly feel like whenever I see Energy and a Faceless Void, I'm like, yeah, that kind of feels normal for them.
Yeah, it's kind of like with RDK team, like you kind of expect Naga Siren or Morphling.
Yeah. But the difference is that like it's an energy pick. Like it's almost like you know like with XD, Reddit always would joke is that like a requirement to join the team is that you have to play Meepo. I don't know if that's true anymore, but he used to make that joke. I wonder if that's something that Energy have. Like, so we can't help but notice that you fit well into our roster, you have the right attitude, very high MMR. But can you play Faceless Void? How many games do you have? Ooh, 10. Ooh, sorry, we'll have none of that. You know,
like we know you're mortal number 2 in the world, but you can't play Faceless Void.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I'm a +5.
Sorry, Seb. We won't have any of you. You know. Anyways, interesting choice. I don't know why I came to mind.
At IDGAF, then like they did do Lich and Dark Willow. They opened up to 2 supports, which kind of does the same thing. I don't like it. I know this was a opener for them in the previous series as well, which they did win the game. They had the Lich and the Willow. So in my mind, that's comfort picks, but you're picking 2 supports that are doing the same thing. Both have a big team fight ultimate. They've kind of got like mini annoyances, like mini disables, but it's not hard disable. So they do kind of exactly the same thing. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the mid and on the offlaner to control the tempo of the game. So
I actually want to ask, if you don't mind going the other way, is that Faceless Void to me was an interesting one to be picked up this early because it is kind of a flex pick because you could play it in a couple of different. I mean, you could at a pinch put it in the offlane, for example. But is that why? It was a bit of the early because you can move it around the map, or do you think they were just like, oh, we don't mind showing this hand?
I think the hero is just too good as a +1. We saw Castaway try it a little bit in the offlane, and it just hasn't like dominated the game. It's when it doesn't have chrono, the impact of the hero just feels extremely lackluster. and you kind of want your offlaner to set tempo on the map. And it's weird that they picked it up because Lich and Willow are both kind of good against Void, because you can't really attack a Frost Armor target early in the game, so your kill potential is quite low. And then Willow can like fear you out of your ultimate as well. So they do have the AA combo for it, so there is some kill threat. He will have to go BKB this game for his Chronos to be effective if he doesn't catch Lich and Willow in both of them. But then IDGAF decided to... They banned Sanking Invoker and TA, and then they picked up Pit Lord. Like, once again, comfort pick. They ran the Pit Lord with the Willow also in their previous series, but the Pit Lord struggled that game, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't really have a impact. He kind of did what he needed to do. He like defended towers, he built all the aura items, but their tempo was like kind of flat in the early stages, and then when it like they hit that mid game peak, then they could actually do something. But against a team like Sin 5, if you don't have pressure on the map, if you don't have like map control, they're going to just take over the game. So I like Sin 5's draft, Energy's draft way more. There's the Willow as well. So Void with Willow, someone's instantly dead. Chrono, Sharpshooter, and AA ulti, that target is dead. Like someone's dying in the Chrono, 100%.
10 seconds remaining.
It's a really good point you make as well. Like I do feel that there is a lack of tempo. There is just this missing, I would say, just something that could force the issue, something that wants to fight, that wants to pick fights, etc. I mean, if you look at the call to actions from Energy Esports, they have the Ancient Apparition who always wants to ulti. I mean, you ulti creeps if you have to, because you really just want the action, right? Faceless Void, every single time Chronosphere is off cooldown, you want to use that. You just want to blow it. You want to, even solo kills. I think the game has changed enough to warrant that. Hoodwink is a naturally aggressive hero. So
yeah, so what I like a lot here is just the two supports. If that's a pos for Hoodwink, just the two supports, they can smoke up by themselves. If Hoodwink latches and AA lands an ulti, that target is probably going to die. So your two supports by themselves can catch and kill something. Where on the side of IDGAF, it's really hard to get on top of someone with Willow or Lich. It's kind of a delayed reaction because you have to throw the stun. He can still dodge your Bramble if you don't instantly hit them. It's kind of awkward, and people can react to that and then counter kill. So a much easier execution from Energy Esports draft so far, because we know what they want to do. They want to Chrono and then kill people. Like there's an AA blast.
It's kind of passive, right? Like that's what it feels like. Kind of a passive response from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just also like you can keep your towers alive with the Pit Lord, and then they go Venge. They doing the exact same draft that they did last week, Albert, because that was a Venge build, remember?
100%. And they had something like really hard, like a Naga or something. I remember having like a really like.
And the Venge just had no impact in the game until like super late when he got the Ags and he got like an AC and all these things. And then the Venge started like doing stuff, but the first 20 minutes of the game with this Pit Lord Venge's cause, they had no pressure on the map and they were on the back foot most of that series. And today, no offense to previous opponents of IDGAF, they're playing a better team. They're not going to give away that lead if they 20k or 18k ahead by 20-30 minutes. They're going to keep.
Thank you, because the point was that it was the Naga, right? Sorry, not the Naga, the Medusa. That was what they played as their final pick into this, and that's why they won, because their opponents couldn't break the base. Now, sorry, but that same defense is not working against Energy Esports. If they're that far ahead of you, I'd almost say that like even if Energy didn't have a core, even though 5 supports with that kind of advantage of you, they'd know how to finish, and that was probably the difficulty they had. But I'm totally expecting it now. Medusa. Let's see if it actually happens. Do you think it's even a good pick here?
And we spoke about it briefly as well. Well, it worked for them, so I won't be surprised if they go for it again. But they've got no tempo on the map. There's just no tempo from them. It's going to be extremely slow again for 20 minutes, and I don't think Energy is going to give them a gap. This Dragon Knight pick is kind of like gave Energy additional tower push on top of their Prophet's ulti. And their draft is really tanky, apart from the supports. It's hard to kill DK, it's hard to kill this Death Prophet, and it's hard to kill Faceless Void because he's got the Time Walk. So it's going to be a
VS anti-armor is good at the very least. I mean, the Wave of Terror are going to be useful against the DK and the Death Prophet in particular.
But what physical damage do they currently have at the moment? Like, you're reducing these people's armor, but what are you hitting them with? So,
Interesting. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm going to say I would have preferred the Dusa if I'm totally honest, but because Drow just feels like faces void food.
Yeah, and think Medusa is better against Faceless Void as well. It kind of forces him into this Manta build maybe that we've seen people experiment with, which is not great because he wants farming items. And then also, if you get Stone Gaze off when he's chrono, his chrono is completely wasted. So I think if they wanted to go back for the Medusa pick, it would have been way better. But this Drow pick, and they don't really have shields. They've got Bitlord. That's it. Willow is not a shield. Lich is not a shield. They want to be playing behind. They don't want to be playing in front. And then you look at Energy Esports. This Death Prophet's going to run at you. Dragonite's going to run at you. Void can pick targets, and Hoodwink and Egg can kind of play from the backline. So there's frontline for the supports on the side of Energy, but on the side of IDGAF, they've picked a carry that wants to play from the back, and there's no real frontline. Pitlord's going to have a massive game for them to be competitive here. He's going to have a huge game. He's going to have to be big.
But I also say who does he have it against? Because I feel like Underlord's whole thing is he's good against heroes with high HP pools, and that's actually not something that Energy Esports going to be boasting in the laning phase. Like things like Faces Void, they actually have low HP pools, but they're just evasive.
Yeah, and you can get it back if you don't have burst, and the only real burst on their side at the moment is like a Lich Q, the Frost Blast, and there's no real other. I guess if Willow catches him in Bramble, she can try and maybe burst him with the Bedlam. But other than that, if he doesn't get rooted, he just jumps away and gets all his HP back.
Well, listen, I'm a man of my word, and I will say this much: I do feel that if you are playing up against a team like Energy, and you're losing the draft. I think we both agree that they've lost this draft.
And the thing is, they put Dragonite middle on for Adestam instead of the Death Prophet against the Venge. Dragonite's completely fine in this lane. Venge can't bully him at all. So I'll be interesting to see what Venge's skill build is here. If he's going to go more levels of the Aura and the Wave of Terror and not take a level of stun. But I've always found Venge like an extremely weird hero to level because all his spells scale extremely well. Magic Missile is one of the highest damaging stuns in the game at max level. It's 360. It's a lot of damage, so you kind of want to get it maxed. But then Wave of Terror is -6 armor, which is extremely valuable in a team fight because it hits everyone. And then the Vengeance Aura, which is base bonus damage for Venge and everyone around her. So it's just, what do you level as this carry Venge? Do you now skip Magic Missile and just go Wave of Terror and the Aura? Just to try and compete with last hits against the DK? I'm not sure.
Well, let's just what's happening here, because there's a wraparound coming on, and it does actually connect onto Face Void, but I don't think there's any real threat there. So, MVP and Egg. Hey, it's Egg! I missed you. In fact, Egg was. I remember
and it's the Lich Egg,
Lich
dude.
Egg. Yeah, this was a good
the level 2 Lich that was level 15.
Oh,
I've never been
a sentry, by the way. It is just it's a smidgen, I would say, a smidgen outside of that observer ward on the other side.
And by the way, the game that we got so excited that Egg got level 6 at like 15 minutes, they won that game.
Yep. Egg, can you do it again?
The underleveled Lich making contributions. So trying to see what this mid lane is going to be like. I'm just looking at starting items quickly. So Adestam is just going for a Bracer early on. And he's going actually, he's got 2 slippers of agility. We haven't seen many people do double Wraith Band anymore. It's just not worth. I guess on a hero like Venge where you get bonus bonus base damage, you could make it work. But 2 Wraith Bands is like almost half the price of your Dragon Lance. So it's pretty hard to just commit to that. But we saw him do an Ags rush last time. I see he's queued it as well, no Dragon Lance. Just going straight treads into Ags. Which is very strange. I would like to see maybe a Yasha just for farming potential. We see a lot of the I've seen Arteezy play a lot of TA recently with just doing like Yasha into an Ags from the safe lane TA. And it just looks so good from a farming perspective. So I think Ben should be doing the same thing. Oh, they're going on bottom. Helsinki's in trouble.
Well, they do in fact engage bottom lane, and Helsinki should be first blood, and it is PCM. You have to watch his buddy die beside him. Doesn't take too much damage himself, so I guess he's fairly chilled about life. That's okay, but obviously an important kill for them, and I believe they went to the Void as well and did. So a lot of, I'd say, extra value on that. I mean, one hero you probably don't want seeing having a good start as a Void if they're on the opposing side.
Yeah, and it's not just any void, it's a Depi void. No, both know Depi is an extremely high skilled player. He's carried many games for this team, and if he gets a good start, he's not going to hinder it. They're actually bullying the drought top a little bit as well.
So at the moment, when you can take a look at the last hits, Drought 63 is not terrible. Actually, returning some fire onto Japa, but in comes Soup. Not going to be able to finish the job by any means, but the support was there from Egg on the sidelines. Like the positioning, just making sure that he could get the damage out that was required. Oh, eat that tree. Eat it, Fred.
Egg
Nice.
is level 2. Like, this is the level he was 10 minutes into the previous series game, I think.
Well, just take a look where Egg is, by the way. Look at this Kobold soldier. This is kind of weird. I don't know if this is abusable in a way, but that's where my mind goes. Like, he's on the wrong side of the neutral pack. And I'm just wondering if you can do something weird, like an early pull or something like that with this. But anyways, we'll see if that ever becomes valuable.
Extremely weird top lane because you've got Death Prophet and Hoodwink, which is not a natural lane combination, and then you've got Lich and like Drow, which is also not a natural lane combination. Because with Lich you want to abuse the Frost Shield, and Drow doesn't want to be running on top of people. So
keep you safe.
it's just this top lane is probably going to be extremely passive. Bottom is going to be a bit more active, and then anytime you're landing against a Dragon Knight, you can kind of just expect it's just a fight for last hits. But Adestam is pulling quite a bit away from this Venge.
Denied.
20 for 3 at the moment, sitting on the DK. I mean, that's real money. I mean, MVP definitely having a bit of a hard time against him here, and you can see the aggression. Like, this is one of the things I love about like aggressive mids. Like he's a melee hero running up to MVP, who's ranged. Obviously, Benji isn't the best ranged hero from the whole hit you from far away perspective, but certainly you still have to make that distance, and I think a lot of players will just look for the denies, abuse the fact that they hit it a little bit harder, have the falling blade advantage, whatever it might be. But Adestam's actually looking to apply pressure, and although he takes some damage, uses assault, he doesn't care. He's got 3 levels in Dragon Blood. This is his lane.
It's become a very strange hero, because in the past, like, Armlets came out, and Dragon Knight now has basically become get treads, get a Soul Ring, and get a Blink Dagger. And run around the map, stunning people, and then your team needs to kind of kill them for you, because your damage output is pretty weak. And then he's become this tower threat. Oh, Dragon Knights pop Dragon form, we have to commit people to defend our tower. So, IDGAF actually need to start, like, communicating that. The moment this Dragon Knight hits level 6, Adestam is going to try and pop Dragon form, try and put pressure on this tower, and you'll see, like high teams get ready for it. The moment the Dragon Knight is 6, they communicate it, they rotate in the supports on the sideline, just kind of prepare for that push that's coming, and then you end up killing the Dragon Knight instantly, and then he doesn't have Dragon form for quite a big duration.
Well, the moment all just going according to plan here. It looks like Energy pulling ahead. You have the Drow with some farm, to be fair, but it's just not nearly as impressive as what's happening in the other lanes. I mean, Braytrix actually getting a little bit of pressure in the top lane. Japa wants him down, Soup as well into pursuit, but they get the support they need from Egg. Egg will probably die for this, but certainly better to lose your Lich than your Drow Ranger, and at the moment, I think 18 for 5 is... It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. So the problem is just, once again, Adestam, DK, and as you mentioned, got the level 6 up already, and immediately pops that Dragon form, and of course this tower going to take a beating, and it's aligned beautifully with that creep as well. They do bring in the Egg Lich though, so let's see if they... What did I say? Did I say creep or something stupid?
Yeah, you said creep, it's just catapult.
Oh,
but
okay.
that was perfect from Adestam. Like, the moment he hit 6, he popped it, the Carti wave was there as well. Are they going on bottom? It's just a little bit of casual trade. But yeah, this tower lost like half its HP. 1,800 to 700, and he keeps chipping. Adestam keeps applying pressure onto this tower every time he can. Dragon form's gonna run out now, and then he's just gonna play passively until it's back up again.
But we spoke about it. This is the worst lane to lose early. Like,
yeah, it just opens up the map so much for the opposition side. You can invade jungle, you can start making rotations, and it frees up the mid laner as well to kind of start applying pressure. Oh, wait, Drow going down?
Orange, yeah, top lane, and Egg in trouble as well here. Wants to bring down Japa and will get him, but Soup makes sure that this does not go wanting, and they'll pick up 2 kills in the top lane. 4 for 1 at the moment. Good advantage already for the side of Energy Esports. I'm just super worried about this DK, man. This is 46 CS. I mean, honestly, I think you're happy with this kind of CS at closer to 10 minutes than you are closer to 5.
And it's not been neutral creeps. This has been lane creeps.
Deny.
We have not seen him farm a single side camp
Oh,
or
sorry,
side
bottom lane.
stack.
PCM has been caught out here by the cold feet. They're going to be able to slow him down with Chilling Touch as well. Looking for a lucky bash. PCM trying to get out of harm's way. Looks like they're going to give this one up. Didn't get the connection there from Deppy, so you know, it's going to have to settle for some decent damage. But you always get excited when that cold feet connects.
Yeah, he is quite a chunky boy. It looks like he's... Is that a Vanguard with mana boots? I think. Yes, it's a Vanguard.
Looks like it, yeah. They're still going to try and bring down. In
I
fact,
know.
looking at the current as well. And they do get the support in from the Dark Willow, though. But oh, that's an immediate TP out. He wants no part of it. Actually went to top lane here, where they do have an engagement. Drow very, very low. So Freytrix hiding out. Jumper just tickling him with the spirits. Helsinki trying to get out. Now, he TP'd in to try and help this, but he is brought down. It may come rewarded at the very least, because Drow Ranger does stay out. Freytrix able to keep himself alive a little while longer, just hiding out in the tree line. But of course, the pressure on this tier 1 tower top is also quite significant if they want it. I mean, they look like they're going to back off, but look at the damage done.
Was hugging that wall so tightly. He kept trying to squeeze in and further into the wall so the Death Prophet couldn't hit him. The ghosts were actually proccing him, but I don't think DP was able to see him. I think he was fogged. It was so tight. It was so close. But that just goes back to their lanes. Like, their lanes are so stagnant. Their heroes can't apply pressure. Willow TP's in to help. It's a 3-on-2 into this Death Prophet hoodwink, and they're going on top again. They're going to get him.
Yeah, so it looks like Egg will be the victim this time around. They connect with Sharpshooter, and that does mean...
going on bottom as well?
Once more, they just find kills where they want to. On the bottom side of the map, though, PCM might actually turn this one around. They're trying to deal with Deppy. He's going to stand his ground a little while longer. Does have Time Walk available in a little while, and he also has Mask of Madness. But
he just used the Mask of Madness, yeah?
Falls. I think, no, I'm going crazy. That was early on. PCM and Co, they're trying... just beam down onto the void, and they do catch him out. The Brabble Edge is enough, not quite. Oh, if Helsinki just let go of the Shadow Realm a little bit earlier, might have been enough damage to finish the job, but you know, that was hard to read. It was really close, and at the
entire team is bottom
pressure of their own.
The whole team is there.
Yeah, they've got MVP and Co. TKC off. No, bad TKC. This is our tower. We can have the rest of the map, but we're having this tower. A very big commitment here from the side of IDGAF.
It's a good movement because they can't really fight into Energy if they're not 5 heroes, and taking this tower is going to open up the map for them because it's getting extremely small. They've lost their mid, they've lost their safe lane tower. The only way that they can open the map up for themselves again is if they actually take this tower, and now this triangle area plus the bottom area is a bit safer for Drow to farm. So, oh, look at the hoodwink damage on the Underlord. That was extremely close. Maybe not, but it gave me a little bit of a fright there, Hellbird. With that hoodwink channels, you just expect that you're dead if it hits you. Just accept it. Full HP, now I'm dead. But Energy is going to push this top. Dragon form has been used. It's still healthy. He's got a lot of time left on this corrosive the Dragonite with the corrosive breath on the tower.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you ever knew somebody wanted to kill a tower, it's when they pop Elder Dragon and they pop Exorcism at the same time. So this tower is mostly doomed, but looks like they do want to try and get something in this round. MVP has actually trapped himself. He was looking for a way and could potentially eat a tree and get out of harm's way. In fact, doesn't even need to. Now you know how to juke me, I guess, in the game, but looks like they will give up on this. But they pick up the tier 2 tower, and that's what's most important. That Denji does keep himself alive, but regardless, MVP and Co, they're losing some significant
they're wrapping on the Drow.
Yeah, it looks like they will find a Freytrix. They connect as well from Soup, and they do have the follow-up from TKC. Jumper's going to make sure that they finish the job. Energy 7k ahead at 10 minutes. We've seen worse, but this is dominant at the very least.
We spoke about this in the drafting. There's nothing. They don't have heroes to do anything. Their heroes can't kill. Lich's not even level 6 yet. 11 minutes into the game. Willow is also 5.5. Pitlord hasn't skilled his ultimate yet. He is barely level 6. And Venge doesn't have farm.
Mid lane MVP caught out here. They're going to connect the ALT as well and deleted from the Sharpshooter. We'll go the way of TKC, but
that's the 2 supports.
Definitely had some help there from Soup. You actually mentioned it. Hold on. Freytrix and Co. They toss out the Brown Wage, does not connect, so they'll be the end of that little engagement.
It's so hard for them to catch anything. Like it's this Lich Willow combo with the Pit Lord. You don't have any tempo on the map, and now your Venge is reacting to all these pushes, and he just picked up treads. 11 minutes treads on Venge, HellbirD. That's it. He's extremely hard time. If you look at the net worth, it's Dragonite almost 6k, Venge 3k.
It's also a little bit confusing, I would say, about the positioning. If you take a look at the minimap for just a moment, like, everyone's pretty much in the same area here. If you look at Energy, they are spread out. They're using their entire half of the map. They're farming the jungle, they're farming the lane, they're making sure they get absolutely the most possible value off the map at the moment. But if you take a look at the other side, it's just too many heroes holding hands at the moment, and that's not going to work out. Alistam, once again, going to pop the dragon form, going to start beating his way down on tier 1 tower bottom lane. In comes Soup for the backline. It's beautiful. The ALT flies through as well. It looks so good, but doesn't even need to. They're doing so much damage. They're going to finish off both heroes. Fairly effortless. Just support again. I don't even know if any of the calls got involved in that one.
No, it was just the Hoodwink and the AA. It was just Soup and TKC. And that's the difference. We openly said it. We said the two supports of Energy can run around the map by themselves and kill people. On the side of IDGAF, it's extremely hard. Lich has to get a good bounce on his ultimate, and he's TPing bottom. Like, this tower's gone, guys. You can't find it.
The tower is gone, but Egg, he's gonna get out through the chain frost, and he gets a connection to jump as well. The support's on the backline. PCM comes in, pretty decent bit of work there with the bit of malice, but in the end, they're still gonna lose their two supports for just the Hoodwink. And they still have this Exorcism up for a little while. Jumper is going to be run down at the moment. Don't know if they can actually connect them. The Vanguard does mean tanky, but of course PCM, very few options aggressively. They're going to try and bring down Jumper. He's going to try to keep out from the tree line, and we'll be able to do just that. And they do have Alistam. He's just toying with them from the back lines, keeping them interested whilst the Prophet TP's out. And in the end, they manage to take down 2. They don't get the tier 2 tower, but significant amounts of damage. And once again, just look at the way they're using the map. Faces Void wants nothing of it. Got my Yasha up, gonna go for Sunjin Yasha. Farming next to my opponent's tier 3. Life's good because I know that I'm safe down here, and I'll take control of the jungle. And of course, that outpost also
should retake that outpost. Yeah, he should retake that outpost. It's a lot of XP that they're just leaving on the map because it's XP that you're taking away from. Oh, bottom. Drow's dead.
Oh yeah, Drow is dead, and of course it's again.
Supports.
It's just the supports causing havoc on the match at the moment.
Well, Hoodwink is 500 net with under the Drow Ranger at this stage, so middle.
Yeah, I mean look at the damage a Hoodwink alone is able to do to the Spit Lord. Anyways, graph time. So, difference in net worth at the moment is 10,000. Experience 10,000, and the win probably. Guess what? It would be 10,000. We're working percentages. It's 94%, but it's 10,000. Let's go.
Over 9,000.
None of that. That meme is too old, and we'll give away our age. The youngsters will call us boomers.
The youngsters have watched Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't come with stories there.
No, they've watched they've probably watched Dragon Ball GT, which is a sin. I want you to just apologize on the stream at right now if you've watched GT.
If you've watched GT. The hopes and dreams of all of us were crushed with GT at one stage. But that's fine. Oh, they're going on Drow again.
Once again, Soup going to re-engage her. And yeah, this time around it works off Fredericks, but you know, they can't even punish it. Cheeky ward. Seeing
I like
everything,
that ward a lot.
No, it's seeing everything.
Yeah, and that little wrap in the tree line that you can do from the pathing change, you can actually, as Hoodwink, hit someone from that angle. So, and he's going to use it. He's going to abuse it. He knows where they are. Dragonite. Alistam with armlets. I really like this. It's more damage build.
They do manage to catch up the DK. There's a big tough man to bring down, but they do connect with a lot of spells, including the Shadow Realm, as well as a great Chain Frost. But now Fredericks brought down the sidelines again. The support wanting to get some action. Egg being hunted down. Soup and Jumper running down, and of course there's a voice. But don't Chrono for this, please. That would be so cool.
Chrono Zippy.
But on the back lines as well, Helsinki and PCM are able to pick up a kill of their own. Helsinki doesn't want to go that way, although he does see a courier. It's empty, but never hurts to bring down a courier. And PCM wants out. They're going to start the LD. Uber out! Come with me, Helsinki! Freedom! And he should be able to get out, and is. So 3 for 2, but they did at the very least pick up a call, which I think is probably the first time. No, I lie. They have picked up.
They killed the Dragonite.
So that is the second core they've killed this game. That's where you start to get worried. 70-4, 10k net worth lead. Energy. They were the favorites. We weren't making any lies when we said so. But we also in line with saying if your draft goes sour, you're definitely going to be picked apart by a team like Energy, and this is what's happening here. They're having a nice.
It just goes back to what we were saying. They're not going. Oh wait.
Sorry. Chrono on 3, almost on 4.
Hey, blast!
2-match kick with the A and the sharpshooter. PCM. He's going to have to back off as Jump and Co. want to find a little bit more out of this. They do bring the face forward on the MVP. MVP tries to skedaddle out of there. Try and get onto the high ground. Might just be able to do so. Deppy turns his attention instead over to Freightrix and finishes the job on him. And Jumper still chasing MVP. We want to take this tier 2 in peace. We've earned it with a chrono like that. Why not?
Middle tower has fallen.
And Adastam has changed his build completely. He wanted to go Blink Dagger after the Omelet. He's just realized that he doesn't need it, and he's going in BKB next because they're so far ahead. It's just what we spoke about. They're not going to let this Venge farm for 25 minutes and get eggs. And then he needs another item after that. It's not going to happen.
Oh, look at the damage to Adastam, but he actually almost toggles through it. But the Chain Frost connects nicely. It's still connected in the back line. Won't be enough damage to really threaten any further. As Helsinki and Cody need to back off. A blast, go the other way. Helsinki making the right choice, survives it. You know, that to me is like one of those things where sometimes the obvious choice is the correct choice.
Obvious choice is the correct choice.
Because you want to say like, oh, okay, well if I run sideways I'll dodge, right? But they still want this. Actually, Egg going to be able to pick the fight. Can he win it though? They do manage to get the Void out, but they want out of here. Soup slowed down a little bit and swap back in. Interesting they went for Soup. Maybe the only one had range for TKC also on the run at the moment. In Vizruin, going to be very kind to him. Does mean he'll be totally safe. They give that one up anyways. They're still trying to follow up on Deppy, but you're not getting this kill. This Void is 100% not dying. This is a waste of time. And also Helsinki, if you catch him, he's going to kill you.
He's going to kill you. So that was a nice little bit of play there. They chased out, killed the Willow. So still showing fight back, which I really like from IDGAF. Something that I really don't like though is this Pitlord just picked up a mech into an AA. Why would not just go pipe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean it achieves mostly the same thing and actually works, right? So I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And this is why! Because A, connect to both! Forget your mech! Run the fleet! Actually uses it, but that's armor, nothing else. PCM should pop and will. They're still going after MVP. A Jumper does not care. Alone in the world, waiting for his team to back up, and they're still going to be able to potentially find a couple kills here. Jumper, wow, like, just look at the aggression. Energy know that they're this far ahead because they're able to just run their opponents down. The support was coming from TKC and Soup, but it was a core and 2 support.
That was
super
TKC. Yeah, that was super TKC. That I don't even think if the core. I think if the core was not there, that kill would have still happened. And look at the build on Yappa. I really like this. Phase boots into Stolar Crest. You tanky, you fast, you slow people, you reduce their armor. And if he picks up a shard after the Yules, it's even more armor that you're taking away. So yeah, I like it a lot. Death Prophet offlane with Solar Crest. Anyone use Solar Crest with your ulti out is going to die.
Hold on. Okay.
Should not
please give me some magic, please! In they go! It's gonna possibly be magic, but the silence is there. They managed to control the Void. He does get the chrono of his life, but he is doing damage to PCM. Will now time walk on the back line. Wants to get hold of Freightrix. They do get the Uber Express, but the LT was down. Is it gonna be there in time? They're trying to buy time. He actually goes out, but in the end they're gonna lose just one. In fact, they do bring down both. And now
so
all alone in the world. I thought first Uber disappeared.
The Uber doesn't work. Oh no, he died. He died.
Yeah, no, because the animation wasn't pop. His death animation wasn't there. I think. At least that's why. You know, you know what's gonna happen, right? This is our life, right? We didn't see a death animation. That's why we thought he disappeared.
Yeah.
But
I thought he rifted out and left the Venge behind.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought maybe the chrono has a weird interaction, but no. Raxvid, that'll be the next attention here, and Super Jumper, Adastam, TKC and Deppy having a great old time, but they're going to finish off the Rax in the lane. And PCM and Kirk, they're going to have to watch it happen because they don't have much left in the bank right now. Sharpshooter, look at the damage. PCM, that's their tank, destroyed. They get a lot of damage off onto Jumper at the very least, and they do find the Void in a bit of an awkward position. They put him back with the swap, but he's able to just time walk up and gets forced off the way by TKC. So very, very safe. In the end, Adastam and Kirk are going to get their reward. Looks like they're going to respect it for the time being.
TKC is. Look at the net worth graph, please, Helbert. Look how far TKC is.
So I mean, let's talk about what it is.
I was like, what's going on here?
Forget that. How often do you see a game of Dota where the entire team has a high net worth in everyone on the opposing side? I mean, for all intents and purposes, that AA is a core AA. You know, that's oh, just wide. We'll connect on Helsinki though.
Sharpshooter!
Double damage.
Whew.
This
Nervous.
This is Enzo now.
Yeah. But it's just the draft again. It didn't allow them to play Dota. This Lich Willow does the exact same thing on the map. This Pit Lord can't put any tempo on the map. He went Vanguard mech. He's not an initiator. And Venge, we saw in the previous series. Now he picked up the Yasha, just so he actually has something, because he's not getting towards that Ags. That Yasha should have been his first item to help him farm. But they keep rotating to defend their towers. They keep rotating to fight when they don't have the tools to do it. They just need to calm down. They are playing a really good energy side. They just need to like compose themselves, and because it's a good team. Like, we saw them play Pingu. They competed hard because they played smart. But it kind of just feels the pressure that Energy is applying to the map is getting to them.
Yeah, admittedly, this time around looks like they're outgunned. I think that's the big thing. They're just not able to deal with some of the things that are being thrown at them. Egg, oh, he's in trouble. Does get the Gloom Cape off though, and Helsinki manages to get away from some of the damage. But he did actually get in for that sharpshooter. Look at his HP pops back up. Helsinki, maybe 3 shots in, will connect. No! Is caught up. It was a beautiful play actually. Well read. He knew what the Void was going to do. Maybe if he had like a little bit more XP, it would have actually mattered. But in comes the Void. He is so aggressive here. Maybe he's got the timing on the Aegis and wants to pop or something, wants to blow some spells. But in the end,
he's hurting them like little sheepdogs.
He catches out 2 here. And of course, the MVP eventually will fall first. Helsinki will fall second. And PCM, you're next. If Adestam has anything said, being slowed down by the big dragon. Dragon Tail connects as well. Egg wants to toss on the chain frost. They're all stuck on top of the tree. And that's, well, that's GG. And the GG is called by Freightrix. Energy Esports, 23 minutes in. That was dominant. If you want to see a dominant game of Dota, watch this one again.
But it started from the draft, Albert. It was a complete outdraft. They ran this draft against in the previous series, but with the Medusa over the Venge, and even then we didn't think it was good. It's just too slow. None of the heroes do any, like, there's no tempo on the map, and they need to change it up game 2.
100%. Anyways, for those watching game, if you haven't left just yet, come join us on the stream. We've got free stuff, and I'm sure free stuff is coming soon. But I mean, there's not too much to sum up here. It really was a fairly one-sided affair in the end. If you take a look at the graphs, for example, I mean, 10 minutes and the rot already set in, and Energy were just able to run away with it. Does look like we're going to try and get things going as quickly as possible as well. So we're not going to take any breaks if possible. We're going to keep chatting to you. We're going to try and get into this next game as soon as humanly possible. Obviously, dealing with ESCOM, want to make sure that we get players in and out as fast as possible. So don't go anywhere. We are going to take a quick break from the casters side just to refuel, etc. But the game is likely to start in just a moment. But on that note, we'll be right back. Ah, I see you have joined us once more. It feels like it's been Long time since we've been able to have this conversation. but of course, if you've forgotten me, I'd understand. It's been an age of man. And if you've got my co-caster, I too would understand because, well, he doesn't have a fabulous beard like mine.
But it is downtime. Devin didn't have a beard before this intermission.
what I loved about this, sorry, I'm gonna cry. What I love about this is I told everyone, listen, we're gonna be right back. And the ESCOM struck, and we're like, admins, please make this go away. Just make this go away. But yes, we have returned. It's been a full 30 minutes, and we're going, in fact, to give you something nice to say thank you. It's free stuff time. All right, let's do it.
But it's important though. It's important. The phrase that HellbirDza is going to tell everyone, you must only type it once into the chat. If you go more than once, it'll remove you from the draw.
And the phrase is #Hellbird > not a hero.
5279-33289-2223.
Why are you confused about it? Of course, the hashtag. There's no hashtag. There's none whatsoever. I'm so sorry, EGL. The sign, the text you need to write in if you want to win a 250 Rand Steam voucher is, of course, EGL1. And you can write it however you like. In fact, in any way, you can be creative. Give us the
only once.
But only once, yeah, sorry. Very important. Don't write it twice. You write it twice, you get kicked out. Once only. Please type it in. If you are watching in-game, of course, please join us on the YouTube channel. You can check that information out on the EGL Twitter page, and that is, of course, on Evesports ZA on Twitter. They'll have the links there to the YouTube channel, and of course, for those watching on Facebook, get in here as well. I assume it only works on Facebook. Sorry, on YouTube. So make sure you're here. Get in EGL1. Type it into the chat only once, and then potentially give yourself a 250 Rand Steam voucher. There's probably something cool in the team for you to get for that as well. Big shout out, of course, to EGL for making it happen. With that said, it is time. We roll. It is the Dota time, because this time around, ESCOM has been evaded. We are one with the Dota, and we're ready to go. Lanes, let's go there.
Just some info for the teams. Like, while we had some downtime, the team started, like, they opted to do the draft in the meantime, so you would have missed that. The lobby was remade into an all pick with the drafts that were finalized. Energy Esports with Hoodwink, Kunkka, Ursa, Jakiro, and Sanking. IDGAF with Mars, Oracle, Lion, Outboard, Devourer, and Ricky. So I like the draft from IDGAF much better here, HellbirDza. It's a draft that can put tempo on the map. You can play off the Ricky, you can play off the Mars. There's a Lion ulti on the map. Oracle is there for a bit of save against the Ursa. You can disarm them as well. So it's a draft that's going to allow them to do stuff on the map. You can even see top Lion's kind of mini trading with the Jakiro. It's just better. I like it more. But then Energy responded with a very in-your-face draft. Ursa, Sanking, Kunkka. And we saw Soup on the Hoodwink the previous game. He was phenomenal.
Right. Well, you know what I'm excited to see, believe it or not, is the TKC Jakiro. And the last time I saw the TKC Jakiro, of all heroes, like, what a boring hero. What a boring hero. The last time I saw the TKC Jakiro was
Man, I spot and to macro fire.
Yeah, it was a good time. You know, TKC makes his hero look flashy, which is easier said than done for sure.
Cool taunt. It's got that little ballerina spinny thing going on there. So just throw a few of those down in between the fights, and the hero's gonna look pretty swank. I don't know what you think about it.
I just have to point out, I'm seeing a lot of people write #HellbirDza not a hero. It was a joke. It's EGL1. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for doing this again.
Did they hit the 239478292 as well?
It's EGL1. That's all you have to write in. Go put it in the chat. Go win yourself a 250 Rand Steam voucher. Please don't fire me, EGL. And I missed first, but I said it. So this is fantastic broadcasting this for you. Best of luck with whoever replaces me.
I love how the man actually went and wrote that. Like, he attempted it. It's like,
still going on, by the way. Obviously there's a bit of a delay, but bottom lane, Soup in a little bit, probably going to back off. Jump comes back in. So nice start by IGF. I mean, it's got to be said. We mentioned previous matchup. In fact, sorry, let's go there. I was having a really good time. I'm really enjoying Dota, so I apologize if I've been a little bit dramatic, but honestly, let's take a look. How do we feel about these drafts in the end? Because they did start out during the drafting stage with something that I know you don't like, which is the double support combo. But how did it end up in the end?
So I don't like the double support combo in the beginning of the draft because then you have to tick too many other boxes to complete your draft. And it's kind of happened. The Mars gives him a bit more flexibility, and same with the OD, especially if he's going to go the Meteor Hammer build, which it doesn't look like he's going. It looks like he's going Witchblade. He's going to be a secondary carry. But having like Lion Oracle as your opener, it just leaves you with too many boxes to tick. And Energy has ticked all those boxes already. They've got Hoodwink, which is catch. They've got Kunkka, which is catch. They've got Sanking, which is catch. They've got Gap Close on almost all their heroes apart from Jakiro. And they've got scary damage. This OD will need to get extremely big on the side of IDGAF, and Mars needs to have a solid game. They have to play off the tempo of this Mars, but at least this game, I think they have the tools to do it. The previous game they just didn't. They had the Pit Lord in the offlane, and Pit Lord doesn't provide you with the same tempo. Mars and Lion can kill something in the map. Mars and Oracle can probably like stun something, lock it down long enough for the Mars to get a double God's Rebuke off maybe. So they've got more kill potential, which I like a lot. That's kind of the points I'm trying to get towards, is because they can actually play Dota this game.
Okay.
What is your thoughts? Like, what do you think it's a better draft than the first one?
I do feel it's a better draft because look, I know you don't like, but in the laning phase, etc. But he does offer more. I think Oracle as the save does mean it's a little bit of the same, a little bit samesies, if I'm totally honest with you. But I mean, well, it's working out for them at the moment. They have the first 2 kills of the game, so definitely a much better start. But I do feel that often I like, and maybe this is just personal preference, but something like a Clockwork and then that kind of Oracle, or something that almost works as you know what the best way to describe it is? The old school 3 position, the initiator, right? The one that didn't really get items, didn't really farm, but just, you know, had some sort of initiation skill. That's how I feel about the 4 position at the moment, is make it something like that.
My personal opinion is to add to what you're saying right now. I kind of feel, my personal opinion, you need to have a position 3.5, not a position 4.
Beautiful, yeah. So yeah. We're definitely on the same page. So with Lion, it doesn't really fall. That's what I'm looking at. Like, would you have not have been better being something else? With that said, I do like the Lion, like as in like hero at the moment, but I feel like it has to get beyond the laning phase. It's not a great laner, but then it has the instant disable, so it allows you the opportunity to bring down that real threat as the game progresses. So overall, I'm happy with it. I really do like the OD. Top lane looks like they're going to be okay though. They managed to back out. I do like the OD. I think it's a very interesting hero because it's got save, a huge amount of potential nuke, can carry for your team.
You shouldn't be losing this matchup, bro. You should not be losing this matchup as a split.
Yeah, but he's playing against Adestam, and in fact he gets caught out by the Ghost Ship as well as the Torrent mid lane. MVP in trouble. They do manage to get the Hex off. This is where, in fact, not the Hex. I think it was the Hex as well as a. In fact, they're just trying to drain his mana away, but Adestam just so happy, just dance around. I mean, look where he's playing Dota at the moment. This is uncomfortable. The reality is that it is Adestam, right? I mean, this one of the all-time greats in South Africa at this point. I mean, you think about how long he's been playing.
Do you think he needs to take more levels into the Arcane Orb? Like, that's kind of your Harass hero against this.
Bottom lane, Egg in trouble here, being brought down here, and will be brought down by Juppa and Soup in the bottom lane. Praetrix tries to get a little bit of damage off on Soup. That'll be enough. It's actually being lined up by Juppa. You can see the positioning there. Doesn't not connect with the Burrow Strike, but does at least manage to do a little bit of damage. So, in the end, they do manage to pick off.
IDGAF did prep nicely. Like, they did prep nicely for this bottom lane. There is a Sanking as well, but they've got a sentry in the lane at the moment. Ricky hits level 6, so he's kind of got the vision advantage in this scenario because Sanking does have Sandstorm, but 100% invis. I won't be surprised if Sanking now counters with his own. Oh, he's already got a Veil. Paul already has a Veil, HellbirD.
Yeah, so certainly having a great. I mean, Veil feels cheaper, so easy to afford. I'm actually interested in the build for Sanking. Sanking's one of my favorites here at the moment, and he feels like he's in a very flexible place because I feel you can do a lot with him. They immediately also do counter ward, so Juppa gets some sort of support here. As they do re-engage in Soup bottom, top lane then pick up the Lion. Do they want more of it? Mars in trouble here as they do start beaming down. Deppy wants it, of course, does have the God's Rebuke to push him away. Spear of Mars as well in cooldown, but really hard to get on top of Peaches here. So for the most part, I kind of like it in the sense that they have to do a lot of work to get on top of this hero.
So just a nice little
bottom lane,
combination.
sorry, bottom lane, they're going to catch out the Ricky as well, and it could be Egg as... But they're bringing Helsinki with a beautiful double impale here, and they might be able to finish the job, and do finish the job onto the hoodwink Jumper, trying to run this one off. Will be caught out by the Oracle as well, and there might be enough damage, and is. Look, if you're going to lose your one position, may as well do it with a little bit of action as well. Beautiful rotation coming. This is it's just a superior IDGAF in every single way. We were trying to talk about the draft.
That was massive. That was massive. Like, both the supports now level 5. 8.5 minutes into the game. Previous game, 12 minutes and both of them were still level 5. That rotation was strong. Helsinki made a nice little play there. Egg just kept pushing the limits of Oracle, and yeah, made them pay for that dive. And it doesn't hinder Ricky that much. He is still third on net worth. The matchup I really want you to comment on is this Odie Kunkka matchup. You should not be getting crushed this hard. Like,
it's just. But this was the point I wanted to make, actually, is that, like, when you think back to Adastam, or Adastam, or whatever you know, he's confused me totally, and so partly his, because every time I met him at LAN, I asked him to tell me how to pronounce his nickname, and he gave me different answers, so he's Adastam. Anyways,
Adam for short. Wait, that's his real name.
Yeah, some sort of Ada, right? So the thing is, when I think about what he has done as a player, it's honestly incredible, because he was almost a minnow player once, right? In the rise of APG, the rise of APG. I mean,
he left Dota for HOTS, Heroes of the Storm, and then HOTS died and he came back.
Yeah, no, that's true. But think about the fact that he was playing all the way back then, when APG was almost like a mid-logger, bottom lane Jumper going to catch out the Oracle, and they do commit the ulti for the Mars. They do a lot of damage here, in fact, onto Soup. They should be able to finish him off, and they're going to miss with the sharpshooter as well. As Jumper, they drop the sentry form, is going to force him out. Oh, beautiful double barrow strike from Jumper. GG! How cheeky are you? Peaches, though, wants to finish the job. Finger it dead. Cheekier. I like it. IGF looks so much better. Yeah, please highlight that. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
Put the GG branch down, but he still dies. But it's so cheeky. Yeah. But yeah, they look way better. They look way better.
I mean, obviously they're actually still losing. I mean, there's a 4K behind, which is once again testament how good the Energy are. But look, let's just finish up the Adastam comment, because I don't think we're gonna have a huge amount of time to. But this is a human being that's been playing Dota for the longest time. As he runs away, we just cast a curse and he's gonna be fine. This is a human being who's been playing Dota for... Oh, I'm not allowed to speak! Stop it! Stop fighting you! I'm trying to have a conversation, but I asked him. Anyways, he's a player who's had a phenomenal history. He's played for an incredibly long time. He was part of the APG squad that was, I would say, the coming of the storm. We spoke about earlier in this broadcast, in fact, about the story of Bravado Emotion, how they were once upon a time this unbeatable, phenomenal side, and now you kind of wondered like how they would compete against the players of today. But bottom lane, once again, looks like there might be a bit of interest here, as Helsinki trying to just bail out his bottom tower. The point is, he was back then. He's been playing Dota for a very long time, and before the example I gave as well. So he is a human being that has invested a huge amount of time, and it just shows. He's so good. And the reason your Odie is having such a hard time with it is because he's playing up against a legend of South African Dota. There you go.
Yeah, 100% agree. When that APG squad, were they going on top?
Oh, well, yeah, there we go. Adastam, he wants to put a punctuation mark on it, and why not? There you go. If you thought we were lying, he just gave his his sentiment to what we were saying.
When that APG squad formed, like, we were actually competing against them quite frequently, and that was with Phalanx, Abdul. That was going to be the next scary team, and ACG was in that squad as well. And then they all kind of went their separate ways, and Adastam found a home at Sim 5 before you moved to Energy, so...
Yeah, and go say, he actually was one of the... I mean, that's a really interesting story, because we almost had this, like, a roster swap. I can't remember exactly when it was. Jap is actually brought up bottom lane, going to be impaled as well. Helsinki and Co are there, they're going to lay down the barrow strike, just going to... In fact, I was going to say just dissect the fight, but in the end, MVP and Helsinki both walked into it.
Poking and prodding at each other, yeah? This bottom is weird. I don't understand why there's 3 heroes here when the tower's gone. This is so yeah. The energy just moved their Sand King away because he doesn't need to be at the tower. The top lane is way more important. He's going to that lane now to farm the tower, and they've got 3 heroes on this bottom, and the tier 1 is gone. The support should be moving away from this. They're taking XP, or they're wasting time not getting additional XP from farming themselves, like small camps or anything like that, or sitting middle. They know there's a scary bear in the mid. But it's XP that's going wasted, and they're just sharing too much at the moment. If you look at the levels, it shows. So the supports are decent level, but Jakiro level 8, TKC level 8, and Hoodwink is also level 7. So just splitting them, and they're still sitting here with the OD. I guess they're just securing his farm, just trying to be the body to make sure he doesn't get ganked.
Well, speaking of getting ganked, bottom lane, Soup isn't a bit of trouble. The Oracle will toss out a bit of damage onto him with the root, but unfortunately for him, Soup is way out. Honestly, it's probably one of the things I really like.
Away. Come on, IDGAF. It's so much time wasted. Like no one's stack. Okay, Oracle's stacking now. I'm lying. I'm a filthy liar, Helbird. He missed the stack, but they need to split the map. The pressure is not top. That's where your Riki is. I guess they kind of have more prioritizing the OD as a pos 1 over the Riki and trying to secure his farm. But they could still be stacking. Oh, they're fighting top.
Yep, they're re-engaged. They want to find something out of this. Helsinki, you always know when you see a support running like that. Like, guess what? I have backup. I'm definitely not alone when you just charge into do 2 stunners. No problem.
It's just the catch again. There's no catch on their side apart from Mars, and he's going Blink Dagger. Once they have that, they've got movements on the map, and until that point, they're going to be playing very slow. Oh, Odie's been caught.
Yeah, they do manage to catch him up, but MVP should be fine. Soup doesn't have the backup he was looking for just then. But you were actually making a comment about the hero levels. I just want to go there for it. Oh, never mind, not allowed to talk. Interesting, MVP was actually able to connect with the Bashwell onto Jump, immediately Sandstorm. In comes Peaches though, gets an arena, wants to finish the job on Super. The boat is in fact there. The damage is not quite enough to bring down Super. The Astral, going to control him for a little while long. Jumper, he gets the epicenter off onto 2 Peaches. He's got some support from the Oracle. Beautiful bit of work, but at the end, you're going to have to back off regardless. They get the Impale off, Helsinki's still in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to get Burrow striked out, and they should be enough to finish the job onto Helsinki. Little claws to the behind, there'll be enough. Peaches in trouble as well. Gets on the guards, we get caught up by the ice path. There'll be yet another kill for Energy Esports. And of course, that means that they get so much out of it. They get the top tower as well. They're going to get a bounce rune if they spot it out. And of course, the only good news for IDGAF is that Freightrix was just farming mid, but that is a very, very small win considering everything else that went on.
And Yappa is just keeping this GG branch for like BMs. He's like rubbing it in. Every time he gets a kill, he's dropping the GG branch to kind of just like rub it in their faces. And that was a hard commit for just a Hoodwink kill. I think after the Hoodwink survived the arena, they should have probably backed away. But Ricky is scouting them here. They don't have any detection.
Yeah, at the moment.
Here comes Eddie.
It's Scott out Soup, and the will commit. Should be able to finish the job this time. Soup very low and is brought down. So then they find a nice handy kill, but it's not quite enough to finish the job. TKC and Co, they're able to boogie out of there. Jumper also free. Oh, Alistam wants to bring down the... There's so much damage on the table here. He'll do just that. Peaches wants to finish off. He's got armor. We've seen how good Alistam's been with us in the past. But he is being totally controlled here. In comes Jump on the back lines. Beautiful Burrow strike, but in the end, it feels better. Finger of Death comes on as well. They will bring down the OD though. It's a good exchange for the time being. They need to get out. They lose 2. Bear in mind... Oh man, it's just getting worse. Peaches all alone. I wanted to say it was good, but they need to keep people alive. Peaches will TP away. You're going to give him up, but I wanted to say it was a good exchange. Because remember, they lost the Riki on the very first kill there, almost before the fight started. But the fact that they weren't able to survive with their cause, it just turns around again to Energy's favor.
And Nessel's got Battle Fury. He's just gonna like his farm is gonna accelerate now. If his net worth is not already impressive, it's going to spike hard. And Yappa on the Sand King is extremely farmed. Veil, Hood, Blink Dagger, Tranquils. He's massive. He's had a free game so far. How much CS does he have? He's close to 100. So it's just the pressure. They have to like use so many abilities just to bring down this Hoodwink. That's got 900 HP, Helbird. Oh, Yappa's channeling the ulti.
Gonna catch him out as well, as they do so much damage. Man, that's your mid position. I think this is just almost a testament to how Dota's changed, where you can just commit these long cooldown ultis. I mean, 100 seconds is nothing to sniff your nose up at. And
GG branch.
he knows we're looking. He knows we're looking. That GG round was for us.
Oh, they got
catch a
the line as
Helsinki as well, and that is a easy kill. Defi just
Ready to go
destroys
Roche,
him.
but they're gonna go Roche. They should go Roche.
Oh, unfortunately, they can't do that because the DD's on the other side. For every time we cast this, the DD's almost waiting for them. But of course, they agree, go into the Roche pit, and they have a great lineup to deal with it as well. Obviously, Ursa, you can do this alone, man. Oh, hold on. Fredrix and Co, they do manage to catch out TKC, but that's I want to say insignificant to the greater scheme of things. Obviously, TKC having a great game himself. I mean, he's got a high net worth in the Mars at the moment, but the reality is this, in any environment, you're happy to give up a support for Roshan. That's a total win because that means you're getting extra life on your Ursa.
And they committed Arena as well, so the map is pretty safe at the moment. Without this Arena, they're really struggling to kill any of these heroes.
Man,
Tanking
why
is
can't I
first,
get through
taking out of
these
it.
guys? Look how good they are at Dota, man. Like, just
Yeah,
it makes me jelly.
It makes you jelly.
It makes me jelly.
Is that the term we're going with for this? Like,
It is. You got a problem with that? I understand. He needs DD. Look at him. Maybe he needs DD. Okay, he needs DD. Fine. But he considered it. He thought, do I need this DD?
This Kunko pick is nice though. Me and you had a conversation about Kunko a few weeks ago, and you kind of asked me what's the build on Kunko now, and I told you I thought the hero was going to be extremely popular because of the changes to Armlet. And look at his build. Armlet into Orchid with the Sage.
The thing is, I also want to point out, look at the talent tree. I mean, 16 strength at level 15. That's a lot of strength at level 16. Like, Kunka is actually an incredibly tanky hero. And I almost feel like probably the worst of his talents is the knock-up stun duration on his level 10, because the rest are all pretty phenomenal and they all equate to damage and survivability. But anyways, all that thought, Depi deletes the Oracle. The Ice Path once again goes down, and I liked it from TC, just to make sure they couldn't engage. They do connect with the boat onto Peaches. They should be able to finish the job, and Helsinki run away! He'll survive for a little bit longer, but the arena fails him as the fall's just below, and of course, it means the MVP is brought out as well. They're going to bring down 4, just the Ricky life. He managed to find another. They've picked up 2 of their own, but Freitrix, it's just not enough, unfortunately. Right now, they're just falling further and further deep into the hole. 15k advantage to Energy Esports. And let's take a look at the graphs for a moment. Net worth sitting at, 15k. XP starting to hover towards a 20,000 advantage. And, oh man, look at their winning percentage. Once again, 96 is too high than the last time we checked in the previous matchup. So right now, Energy are looking like, although it's 13 to 20, and you can kind of really respect the efforts put in by IDGAF to keep things as competitive looking as they are, it's not competitive. Energy are insanely far ahead. Bottom lane, Adestam. Okay, Adestam, your team is abandoning you. Peaches,
he's so tanky.
trying to block him out, but level 19 versus 2 level 11s. He's happy. Bulwark. I don't care about Bulwark. Adestam will be brought out. They're surrounded, but Depi fighting comes in. Beautiful bit of work there by Peaches. In comes the Coco Rub. He'll connect on 2. He'll end 2 lives. And it means that Jumper, he wants to find himself, tasty lion. You have an Impale, I have an Impale. Well, I guess Helsinki has a Hex. He's going to be able to get out for the time being. Impale won't connect onto Depi though.
Going on Adam, but he's got the
Jumper
armor
does go back in. On the back lines though, Freitrix wants to get something out of this. TP coming in onto, in fact it was cancelled. It was cancelled coming into the bottom lane. But now Jump and Co being controlled, Helsinki. Oh, egg run. Not this again. Beautiful bit of work actually, but I think he's dead. I don't think that this maybe
the fountain. Oh, he's still dead.
Yeah, Helsinki. Dude, look at Depi. Understand, Depi is huge. He's gonna go fountain diving. He's gonna pay for it. He's gonna lose the Aegis. Can they actually make something of this though? That's the real question. Depi going to be controlled under the cloud. They move down with ease. IGF, the arena was outside their base, but nothing in it in the end. They lose their Mars. But I think, in a way, you get the Wicked 6 streak. How did it actually reflect? Well, if I look at the win, it still didn't help much. 2 to 98%.
They're still fighting. Oh, good dodge.
Yeah, Freitrix, he's still interested. He starts making his way towards him. Gets a beautiful smoke screen down. Jumper very low. We call up the Astral. He's done. TKC. Potentially next. While they're surrounding him, he's dead. I'm kind of disappointed by that. I think they should have gone after TKC because that was a dead sanking by the moment the Astral went down. But okay, so be it.
No, I think it's just a little bit controlled as well. Oh, they're running at them hard. They're going past the tier 2s. Freitex is in.
Okay. Where did this come from? I love the fact that they're so far behind, but they're making it look good. Honestly, you gotta hand it to them. Oh, give us something. Give us something, Dota. 4%. No, I want at least like 15.
It's Ricky has gotten a lot of gold now. He's not far behind the thanking.
Right, quick shout out when we have a bit of break here. The giveaway for that 250 rand Steam voucher, that looks like it's going the way of, I'm gonna mess this up, CL Clitty. CL Clitty, if you are watching the game, please make sure you respond to that in the game, otherwise it's going to somebody else. Kyle Clitter. Someone Clitter. Someone Clitter. Or was it Clitty? I don't. Yeah. Let us know. No. Claim your prize. Tell us how it was said, and then let us know.
Tell us in the chat what you're gonna buy with your 250 Steam voucher.
I like it.
Yeah. Oh, they're hunting again. Ricky's under award.
No, they don't manage to catch on. Beautiful little work there. Just respecting the fact that Blink Strike not going to reveal himself, and they're throwing everything. We will find you. We will kill you. We will not. We give up.
Kiro macro pyres and the Kumko boats. Everything is used.
He might be here. Egg, not so lucky. Not so invis. He's back up. But I've got to say, like, this is one of the reasons I really like this IDGAF side, is that they're really putting the effort. I mean, it feels like they don't have the win probability graph like we do, and we know it's 793. And in fact, it's getting a little bit better. I'm sure that the tier 1 target now maybe will be 90-10, but I imagine this is a side that's playing like, guys, we can still do this, and why not? I think the win probability graph is rigged anyways. It's supposed to give us the good comebacks, right? It's never like this.
They do have good tools for the late game. If this OD gets a few more items, he's close to his BKB. I think if he gets a Blink Dagger plus another item, he can fight into this Ursa and Kunkka, especially with the BKB. Oh, but look at Energy. Look at how they wrap
up. Egg is actually in a pretty good position. Chopper goes in, spots out the Oracle, will find work that he needs. But everyone wants out. They're all on top of each other. Helsinki, no! He gets brought down. Deppy and Co. Claim
Why was that TP so long?
They're just cruel. Yeah, they must have TP'd to the same spot.
Or he TP'd to the outpost, I think. If he TP'd to base, he was out. Yeah. It was just a...
Oh, who sees this coming? Double smoke by Energy? Then they want to go again. And this might work out, because look where the Mars is. Actually realize... I mean, this is fair play for Peaches. He thought I'm safe.
Oh, look at Soup. And when the smoke broke, knew he was there.
That's a scene I don't understand.
The smoke broke and he knew there was a hero in the tree line. The moment the smoke broke, he knew there was a hero in the camp and he just threw out the bushwhack. So that's just
that's not fair. I just call. Listen, that's not fair. Like, come on, be reasonable now.
They hugging this Ricky? Does that know he's here? No, there's no detection. He should be okay.
I honestly don't think that's reasonable. Like, I don't want to play Dota against people who do stuff like that.
They'll teach Mars to pull the creeps out of the camp while he's farming them. Lesson learned.
I mean, I learned the lesson, but I effectively have map hacks on. But like, that's crazy. In a little bit of trouble here. Yeah. Sort him out. He's too good at this game. Make sure he pays.
And it's nice that he's got the Manta, so he's purging these dusts that they're using. So kind of using dust is not good against this Ricky. You kind of always have to have sentries. So the moment he was dusted, he just Manta'd, walked away, got a free kill. So they're saving grace at the moment as this Ricky. 6k behind the Ursa still, but he is strong enough to solo kill these supports. Like maybe not Jakiro. Jakiro's got 2,400 HP. It's a lot of HP, but definitely the Hoodwink.
By the way, I just want to say, Kill Clitty, now that you've mentioned what you're buying with this, you have to tell us how to pronounce your name, because I feel kind of bad. But
how is he going to do that in the chat?
I think
how is he going to tell us how to pronounce the name in the chat?
I think she will be buying Dota items. So please tell us how to say your name correctly. But appropriate. Not quite enough for an Arcana or something, but you definitely get something like slick items for that. Tell us who you buy any Dota items for. I think that's what's most important.
You buy Dota items for other people? For what?
No man, like which hero?
Oh, I thought you meant like for who? Like you buying it for someone. That's rude. Just
I
give
could be
this
for
person,
someone. Why not?
this person
Maybe you're a good
free,
person.
a free 250 Rand Steam voucher, and then you want to tell them to go buy someone else.
Maybe she's a good person, notAhero. Who knows? I don't know. Like,
is
people do nice things sometimes. Jumper
rude.
could be put up by Fratrix. Actually, going to do a little bit of damage here, but obviously TPing out means that Jumper's going to be a-okay. But they're still picking up. They still want the Sankey. They're still engaged on the same. Peaches managed to catch on a nice little work on the route there. And Jumper in trouble. They're going to bring Jumper down. Gets off the burrow strike, but a really good pickle.
A movement by Energy.
Where was this IGF earlier? Once again, Soup in the back line. This time, Fratrix hunting. Might be good. Are you going to have to deal with all my items? On the high ground, though, they managed to look at the ice path. So much work. Deppy just destroys to MVP in trouble now. Come here. Come here. MVP in trouble. Not even going to be able to get up the Astral. Brought down. Although the Spirit Mars will connect, it's going to be too late. And now Peaches and Egg running for the hills. Egg, Egg's my favorite. I really want Egg to live. At least Egg's career might be able to survive this. I think that's what's more reasonable.
like, what is the choice here?
I'll be happy. Okay, well that's that. Mid lane, trouble now for inside IGF. They have been playing better though, right? Like, if I take a look, even at the grass and stuff, they've maintained the rot, and that's the thing. Is that in that case they've been pretty good.
Yeah, if they just get like a little bit of tempo in their draft in the early game, they definitely will. These games will be winnable. This line Oracle is obviously doing what they're supposed to do, what they can do, but just get a little bit more tempo into the draft. Because we've seen when they've had the Mars Arena up, when they've had the OD ulti up, it's like some of those Rigotti causing chaos on the map. They're competing. So I think it's just a little bit of they're lacking a bit of tempo. Mars had to go Blink Dagger first item. You kind of want to go duels into Blink, but with no additional catch on their side, he had to go the Blink. He has the arena, but no, he just look at Adestam's got a full Satanic Evan's Halberd. Whoop! Here we go, BKB. Well, that's BKB and Enraged down by the Ursa.
I mean,
so.
something, but you've lost a lot. Oh, in comes Peaches. Managed getting nice with the Mars and does get a little bit of support in the backlines, but they're both coming through the Kakaram. Astam controlled with the Astral, but on the backlines, Fratrix trying to do some work, still sticking to Jumper like glue. Does not manage to find the kill he's looking for. Does not have Blink Strike available, and they'll bring down the Cooker. Adestam down. That means they're keeping their hopes alive here. IGF, they don't want to die just yet. They're going to push out the lanes. Who knows? Maybe they got some surprises for us. TKC, who's going to that outpost? Wasn't you. It was Deppy, and that's pretty cool. Deppy didn't straight into Rochefort.
Yeah.
It's Kyle, by the way.
Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle. Kyle Klutty. That's how you pronounce it.
Okay. Klutza, not Klutati.
Okay, well, congratulations. Fantastic.
Yes.
Debbie also winning something. It's going to be an Aegis, some chi, some cost.
Plus side though, that was a 4,500 HP Kunko with 24 armor, with armlet not on. And they brought him down pretty easily when the OD can actually get on top of him. So, definitely, the OD went for the Dragon Lance after that. He decided not to go Blink Dagger. I like that. I think Blink on OD is more item if you're kind of ahead, so you can get into people's faces and blink away afterwards. He just wants to keep hitting people from range. With this build, I would kind of like him to see him go Shard and Bloodstone. I've seen Sparkle's been doing it in SA pubs a lot, because with Shard you can use the Flux to swap mana for HP, so then you full HP again, and then if you get in trouble you pop your Bloodstone, and then you full HP again as well, and you're just extremely tanky and hard to kill. So with this build that he's going, I would like maybe Hurricane Pike into Bloodstone, and then he's going to hit hard because it works based on mana, Hellbird, and Bloodstone gives a lot of mana.
Oh wow, what a nice ultimate from Peaches, but so desperately trying to get away from this Ursa, and of course the BKB will be able to get through the arena. MVP now in trouble here. The Oracle gets a little bit of help towards his core, but in the end, it just means that they're going to have to deal with it. Impale comes out, Deppy does not care, still fighting through. MVP will fall down in the end, and Peaches and Curly have to back up. They get a buyback on the Mars, so they do have something to fight with here. Helsinki and Co. bitch to be charged on. Deppy does not care. We'll get hexed out. In comes Jumper, forced off forward, hits with the Impale. There's a Burrow Strike, and now they're going to bring down Helsinki. They're just swarming him. Really? You survive? Well, you don't see that every day.
Lion surviving the players.
Yeah, just That's a new
Oh,
one.
they're getting a kill. Got the hoodwink, got the sanking.
They're defending
Fighting
well
back.
at the moment.
Yeah,
There's
fighting
life here.
Cost them some buybacks, but there's definitely life here. If this Odie can stay alive through those BKBs, he's dealing a lot of damage. They just need to keep poking and prodding. They slowly but surely making their way back into this game. 30k net worth is still a big margin.
Hold on, the catch shot at Stam here once again. This could be a big kill for them. They're going to be able to control him nicely. They drop out the finger as well, and then Addistam falls down. He's actually with 566 gold. That was surprising since he's formidably rich. I guess it was split or something?
It's because he died recently, so he wasn't on a streak. But 566 for a hero that's not on a streak is still a lot of gold. There was a little weird interaction there. The Lion Earth Spike pushes the hero into the air, and then the Mars Spear missed it because he was in that little jump animation, saying that you can stack camps with Lion Stun. So it was a little bit of a weird animation.
Well,
they still got the
considering
ring
where he got stunned. That's pretty significant.
Pritex?
Trick. Now it finds out TKC, and this should be an easy kill. I say this, got another Blink Strike available. But the Ice Path's good. TKC's still alive, but I don't think he's... Yeah, he's caught in the corner there. He's actually caught in a very awkward position. I think he was... I'm actually confused.
I think he's got a gem. Did he pick that up from the Jakiro? Is that his gem?
It's owned by ROF Joppa. Yeah.
Yep.
Sanking bought it.
So that's really nice for the Ricky because then he can always scout these sentries, make sure he's free to run this map because stronger, he's got the basher, he's got a Titan sliver as well. So starting to dish out damage. He's on Yappa. Is he going to go for this kill? Yappa's alone.
I mean, he's got to be careful because obviously he is the hopes and dreams. They have a 2% chance. I saw 2%, but they've had a 2% for the last 20 minutes. So I don't know, man. Like, this team does not care for percentages or anything like that. They've actually done really well. I mean, I know they've been racks. I know they're sitting with half a racks bottom lane and the range racks tanks. So the one that does.
Oh, nice!
I didn't pick it up, but Matrix and Code, they find another pick here. They're just slowing things down. This is really important.
Just keep poking and prodding. Poking and prodding. They're drawing on the map where they need to be.
Devin needs to be caught up, but once again, does have enough to. They try and bring everything, just control him during that ulti. And Stam drops a bunch to hit everything! MVP does have the BKB, but they just delete a couple. Egg and Co have to back off the very last two. They do stand and live with MVP, trying to go mano against Addistam, but it's not enough. Fratrix wants to finish off the sword, make sure he's able to just move around without problems, but there's another one down in the tree line, caught up by the Ice Path, and the Macapie is down. It's the supports doing work with the backline. MVP's trying to bail out his buddy, but Soup and Co, they're going to stay alive for a little while longer. The Ricky is still up. That's probably the most important thing. Fratrix stays alive.
No,
do they keep? No, they don't. MVP falls as well.
Oh, he should have just ran to the high ground and TP'd. Used the fog, he TP'd on the low ground. And that was his dieback.
Fear there that there's a rune up there, so we just figured like immediate TP the best way. But at the very least, like JF, they do have. Oh, there's no buybacks. The only buyback on their side is on the Ricky. He's still alive, so unfortunately he's all alone. Fratrix looks like he wants the rapier, by the way.
Playing to win, Helbert. Playing to win.
Rapier. Why not go all in right now? I mean, your chances to stay alive here in the upper bracket probably totally reliant on Fratrix at the moment, and it's going to be a big ask. They're going to catch out the Oracle, manage to force up back up, but the X was there, and they're going to manage to finish the job. Lovely little double tail comes out from Helsinki, but this game looks like it's over. Rax under, thrown under fire at the moment, and looks the epic being set by Jupp. He just wants to celebrate, goes into the fountain, caught up by the Marsri. Deppy! Stop it, Deppy! Stop it! Peaches wants to live, and he will live. Fortunately, his lifeline here in the upper bracket will end, but entertaining second matchup here. IGAF, they did well.
Yeah, I liked it more. They had the tools to play Dota. They had heroes that could kill, rotate, gank. Fratex did well on this Ricky pick. The Mars pick was much better from them. I do still think that they need to reevaluate the support duos that they're picking, because we saw what Energy was doing the entire 2-game series. Like, both their supports were killing people. Just the two supports together had kill threat. I know Oracle is not a hero that functions in that manner. It's more of a save mechanic, but they just need to do that. But Energy looking slick.
I mean, let's be fair. I think at this point we can give the mantle over to Energy Esports. They are the team to be. Obviously, IDGAF, it felt like maybe came alive a little bit later on in the series, and perhaps, who knows, maybe if they had been in a position where they were more comfortable earlier on, who knows, maybe that would have been a different look from them. Obviously, it was a very convincing win from Energy, but it's almost what we expect. But at the same time, IGF had life in them. They looked like they could, definitely throw some punches with the biggest possible team. In the weirdest way, it only gets easier from here for them, right?
Yeah, this is all experience that they're going to take and grow. They can go look at this game. Why were they lane so hard? Why was that mid game stretch so hard? And this is where you can replay analysis and get better as a team.
All right. Well, look, it was a lot of fun. Congratulations to Energy. Of course, for them, it means they're just one step closer to their lion's share of a 50,000 Rand prize pool. For IGF, it's not over though. If you're an IGF fan, you still have the low bracket to enjoy. Who knows? Maybe there's a sting in this tail. Maybe they get to enjoy a low bracket run. And I think, if I'm totally honest, it's probably not going to be too much fun playing against IGF in the low bracket right now. I think they're one of the stronger teams down there. So best of luck with them in their run in the low bracket. But from our side, it feels so good. And you know what else feels better? Not here. You know what feels better about casting this game on Wednesday and it being, and it having to end?
My lights being on?
There's still a series to come with match for you. Obviously, it's a little bit more challenging with the ESCOM. We're trying to work around it, but don't be too surprised if it is tomorrow or Friday. We're going to try and make sure that there is another matchup for you very, very soon. Kind of looking towards Castex to make sure that there is, if we do have one confirmed, I'm not sure, but we're one way or another, there's some more EGL action coming up. So nothing confirmed just yet from what I can tell, but we will certainly try to bring you another matchup this week. And who knows, maybe this time tomorrow, we'll be enjoying yet another matchup here at EGL 1. But anything else? Any final thoughts? Are we going to wrap it up?
No. I think we wrap it for the night. It was a nice early series. Started at 7. We finished at 9 o'clock, which is pretty early night for us. So just to everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I know a lot of people couldn't tune in because of ESCOM load shedding, but the highlights for this game will be up tomorrow, and the full game VOD is also on the YouTube channel. So if you did miss it, or your friends missed it and they wanted to watch, tell them to pop in and can catch a highlight video. Or if they don't want to watch the whole thing, and if they do want to watch the whole thing, come and watch the revod. Let's get this going. Like, they can watch some good Dota and Energy versus IDGAF. Congratulations to Energy.
Nice. Well, I guess the last thing to mention is that it does seem like there will be some community casts going on this weekend as well, most likely. A couple of games to watch from our favorites, like Gwyn ROC, Shaky TV. I'm not sure exactly who's else involved casting the action, probably. So there's some guys who will probably be casting some of the other matches for you. So do make sure to follow them, give them some love as well, because they're a part of the EGL family. But on that note, we're going to have to call it a night. I'm sad. It's been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun. But I guess we'll have to wait until next time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you one last time. We'll see you for the next matchup of EGL 1. For now, good night. Look after yourselves. We'll see you soon.